Hello, fellow Endeavourists, Morsonians and Lewisians. My name is Christopher Sullivan and I run the website morse-lewis-endeavour.com. I've also written a book on the Lewis series. A second edition will be published soon, and I'm also planning to publish a book on the Endeavour series. Now, after that slice of self-publicity, on to the subject of my talk. The organiser of this wonderful event, John Mayer, asked me to talk about the 10 best sites in Oxford for the placing of commemorative plaques to celebrate the Morse, Lewis and Endeavour series, or as I refer to them collectively, the Morse universe. I believe John plans to approach Oxford Council to make the plaques a reality, so let's hope he succeeds. Now, in a perfect world, and I do love the idea of a perfect world, I would like these plaques to be interactive. Now by that I mean they should include a QR code, a quick response code. Scanning the QR code, and the majority of mobile phones have that facility, would take you to a web page. That web page would give you information about the location in which you stand and its place in the Morse, Lewis and Endeavour series. Of course, you can download QR code readers for free. Now, these QR codes can be also created for free, and the one on the screen I created, and it works perfectly. If you wish to try it, please do so. So, to add this to a plaque is easy, and plaques can be bought and created cheaply. In fact, this is something John and I could do, and then simply ask the Oxford Council permission to attach them to certain locations. One could even create stickers with a QR code and the words Morse code on it, then simply stick them around the city. But of course the plaques would work better. Also, a downloadable PDF could also be created for free and be made available to the Morse tourists with information to where all the plaques are situated. Now, about those locations. These 10 locations I've chosen are in no particular order. The first location is below the raised garden area of Exeter College, on the corner of Brasenose Lane and Radcliffe Square. Now, this position affords great views of places that have been used many times in the Morse universe. With one's back to the wall of Exeter College, we can see to the left is the Bodleian, which has been used internally and externally as a location. Then we move our eyes to the right and see All Souls College, which has been used recently as a location for the Endeavour series. Continuing right, we see Radcliffe Camera, which has appeared so often in all three series that its name should really appear on the credits. Moving our eyes further right, we see the University Church of St Mary the Virgin. The church, or at least the top of the church, has been used often in all three series, principally as a place to film an overview of Oxford City, and you get some sublime views from that location. Continuing to the right, we see Brasenose College. Brasenose has been used 12 times in the Morse universe. Finally, we have Brasenose Lane. This lovely lane bisects Brasenose College and Exeter College, and has been utilised numerous times throughout the three series. And talking of Exeter College, it has been used as a location 17 times. Now this gives you an idea of the kind of information that could be obtained via the QR code. My second choice is Merton Street. It has been extensively used as a location from the High Street end to Oriel Square. Like so many locations in Oxford, it is well suited to practically any era in British history, probably more so with its cobbled street. From the older Morse walking through Canterbury Gate into Merton Street, to the young Morse running from phone box to phone box in the Arcadia episode, and Lewis and Hathaway in the episode Old School Ties, sharing an iPod, listening to world music and madrigals. Merton Street merits inclusion as a place of interest for Morse fans, if for no other reason than the young Morse in the pilot episode. He stands on Merton Street looking at his old alma mater, Lonsdale College. Now, can you believe it's 11 years ago, that scene? Lonsdale is, of course, Merton College in reality. And by the way, Merton College has appeared 10 times in the Morse universe. My third choice is Turrow Street. Like Merton Street, it has been used extensively in all three series. The shops at the High Street end of Turrow Street have also been commandeered as locations, especially the Oxford Bookshop. In an Endeavour episode Icarus, bullets were flying on Turrow Street. In Morse episode The Last Enemy, Lewis was discussing with Dr. Russell a gift for a baby. While in the Lewis series, Colin Dexter looked on as Hathaway and Lewis discussed a case. My fourth choice is the Martyrs Memorial. Like my first choice, Martyrs Memorial affords great views of so many locations that appear in the Morse universe. With one's back to the memorial, you have on the left the famous Randolph Hotel. Moving right, you have the Ashmolean Museum. St Giles has been used both as a location for cars to drive through or for the cast to walk through. Now, if your eyesight is very good and you squint somewhat, you might just be able to see the Eagle and Child, which sadly I believe is still closed to the public. And on the opposite side, you have the Lamb and Flag, where famously Jakes and Endeavour parted company. At the Martyrs Memorial, if it's not Lewis watching Americans in the Wolvercott Tongue episode, then it's Lewis and Hathaway drinking coffee, resting between murders in the episode Counter Culture Blues. My next choice is Holywell Street. It has seen Morse and Lewis smile where the Red Jag almost doesn't start in the episode Happy Families, to Max and Bright investigating a collision in the episode Confection. It has also seen Hathaway and Scarlett Mortmain from the Dead of Winter episode strike up a romance. But like so many romances in the Morse universe, it doesn't end well. My sixth choice is Magdalen College. Now, my reason for this choice is very simple. It was the first Oxford College to be used as a location in the Morse series. I think that reason alone is enough to warrant a plaque, but Magdalen College has been used as a location 12 times. My seventh choice is New College Lane and Queen's Lane. These two lanes have been used so extensively in the Morse universe that my 10-minute talk could have been about only those locations. Those lanes have seen some great scenes from all three series. Bright on the brink of being murdered in the episode The Whale, Lewis losing his temper with Hathaway in Life Born of Fire, and in the Morse series the lanes were used often. My eighth choice is St Helens Passage, which of course leads to the Tough Tavern. But the pub is not my principal reason for choosing St Helens Passage. In that narrow passage, we have seen Fred Thursday using his own brand of interrogation techniques. But more importantly, it houses Dorothea Frazell's workplace, the Oxford Mail, or at least the entrance to the Oxford Mail. And of course we must mention Morse visiting the Tough Tavern quite a few times, as have Lewis and Hathaway. My ninth choice is Jericho. Jericho is where you could say, in terms of the TV show, the Big Bang happened that created the Morse universe. But the actual location of the plaque would be a difficult choice. Should it be Combe Street, which stood in for Canal Reach? Should it be 31 Nelson Street, where Hathaway and Lewis almost lost their lives? Maybe outside the Phoenix Picture House, where the older Morse hoped to watch The Last Tango in Paris? Or surely we should consider a pub, the Bookbinders, of course. Now, wherever a plaque was to be placed in Jericho, it deserves to have one or maybe two or maybe three plaques in that region. Before I mention my final choice, a word about Colin Dexter. Without him, of course, there would be no Morse universe. Without Colin, I would not have met so many lovely, like-minded people who love Morse as much as I do. Though Oxford Council seem reluctant to honour Colin in any substantial way, I would hope that these plaques would commemorate not only Morse, but Colin too. My final and 10th location choice is going to seem a bit strange. It doesn't appear in either the Morse or Lewis series and has only appeared twice in the Endeavour series. One of those times it was the Black Jag in pursuit of a villain. But the other time has become an iconic scene. It's a scene that stirs great emotion among Morse fans. The location of that scene is Pusey Street.
Get you through your sergeant's exam, eh? With the proper encouragement. Who knows? What you got to ask is, where do you see yourself in 20 years?
So, I believe it is an iconic scene, but does it warrant a plaque in that street, Pusey Street, for this one scene? Personally, I think so. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you agree, or do you think it doesn't warrant a plaque because it's only been used this once in the Endeavour series? So, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the talk. Let me know again in the comments. And please, if you can find the time, leave a like. That's if you did enjoy it. And also think about subscribing, not just to my YouTube channel, but also to my website as well. Take care, everyone. And we will meet each other again, I'm sure, at some point.